How you doing? Ralph here, Ralfy Customs. Back on our gourds. Let's get these frame rails in and that. Fresh in from a Valentine's morning breakfast and I've eaten too much, so we will be taking things steady. Regular readers will see that I made this last night actually, and we've got this kind of mocked up. That is going to sit somewhere like that with a bit more of a scoop and a scallop to make it fit on. We've lifted this slightly and we've moved it forward slightly so none of this shit fouls his petrol tank, because this is on more of an angle. So we're going to get that on there, and then we're going to diversify. We're going to divert, and we're going to get this broken stud out and this broken stud out. Sorry, not filming it very well. So we're going to be welding washers and nuts on and warming things up and working them out. Worst case is we're drilling and tapping them out, which I should not do, because it can be a little awkward, especially after you've had a go at welding it, but we'll see how that goes. It's another cold morning. I don't know if you can hear me over the heater, but I bet you can. What I wanted to show you was a bit of the coping that I do. So after slicing it off with a chop saw, I fettle it up with a flap disc, with a flappy disc like, and I always have a test piece under. This is 50mm, so it's the same size as the headstock tube. And I can lay that on and see how well it fits in the bench. I don't have to keep putting the job up. Like once I've marked where it needs to be chopped back to, I just rough it out and then blend it with a flappy disc. And like I say, I'll have a test piece, offer the test piece up so you can see how well it goes without having to put it back in position on the job. Makes it a little bit easier. And then what I like to do, especially when I'm using short runs like this, is give it a quick polish with the old fucking pipe polisher, with the old pipe sander. 400 grit I think this is. Let's have a look. 240, sorry, my bad, 240, but it's fucking worn out. So just to knock the mill scale off and make it shiny. And then we can put that jigsaw puzzle together, look. We can slide that up there, get that in there, and de-fluff that end, bit of fucking fluff on there from somewhere, and there you go, look. Little bit of a gap here and there, which is just how we like it for the penetration with the old Megatronic. I could probably do more of a gap than that and be happy, to be fair. So we'll just pull it back a little bit, give ourselves a little bit more of a gap, get a tack on that end first, and then well, then we'll be getting on with that stud. But so what I'll do is just pull that back a little bit like that, give myself a tack on that end, make sure everything's true, and then get a couple of tacks on there. Another top tip, and something that's really old-fashioned, is a striker plate. This is a striker plate. You used to use your bench when you were stood at a bench all day. You'd have a corner where your MIG torch rested, and before you did a weld, you'd strike it up to get everything moving and warmed up a little bit. Look at the bow in that. This is 10mm, oh, it's 6mm thick I think, this bit of plate, but over the time I've used it as a striker plate, the heat has bowed it up, look. So now it's fucking bent. So I'll have that next to the job like that, and when I get this held where I need it with a gloved hand, I'll strike up on that and then go straight up on there. Auto darkening helmets really make a difference, because you can get yourself where you need to be without fucking head nodding, and you can go straight from one to the other. So it's not crucial, but they are really helpful. All right, that's fit up lovely, look. A couple of tacks each side, excuse me, on each piece. So we're tacked in. We will do a plug weld here, or a rosette, as you Americans like to call it, which will go through this backbone, through the adapter, and into this. We'll do a lovely rosette there, and then we've got 4 welds round. We'll also, excuse me, plate that off. We'll put a bit of plate in there. and there's going to be a tube running there as well, so that all ties in lovely. What I'm going to do now is try and get this exhaust stud out. So we're going to use the patented welder washer on, welder nut on, see if we can undo it method. I will weld it, I'll let it cool off a bit, and I will oil it, and then we'll see where we go from there. So first up, let's get this washer welded to the stud. Hold on, you're a bit in my way, but there you go. Sorry, I'm knocking you about. Bear with. We'll get it warmed up on the striker plate, and then find out we've not got a very good fucking earth, because the engine's rubber mounted. So hold on a minute. Right, let's try again. Now we put the earth on the fucking engine itself, not like a dickhead like we did before. So we get the washer welded on. Let that soak in. Let the heat soak in. Get the nut welded on. And I think we'll get a couple of tacks on. To the washer, and we'll let that soak a minute. Right, what I like to do, sometimes use the air ratchet with the brass punch on, but I like to give it a bit. Just to try and crack the corrosion. What's gone on there is the stud's corroded into the head. So we give it a bit of lube, let that soak in, give it a few love taps. Hopefully that'll have freed up enough that we can now run in with a socket and see about winding it out. So let's have a look. I'm stood up for this. I'll stood up. A bit of movement. There's a little bit of movement. No. No. I need a spanner. I can't get on where I've tapped it on. It's not letting me get a socket on properly, so I'll go and get a spanner. Right. There we go. I don't think. No. Well, it's just my hands enough, isn't it? No, just fucking round it off. Get them over it now. Right, a better pair of multips. Just see it moving a bit. No, just snapped off. So now we have a choice. With that being flush, we can go for the washer and weld again, maybe with a bigger nut, or we can go straight in and drill. And what I'm worried about is that being a pain in the arse to get a weld on, and welding it and making it rock hard, making it too hard to drill. So I think we've failed with the fucking washer. Look, it's just sheared off the last bit of bolt that was sticking out. It's just sheared off. That is well and truly fucking stuck. So it's going to be a drilling fucking tap job, that is, definitely.
Don't forget, folks, our Fuck Stock stickers are now available in our Etsy store, link in the description below. Fuck Stock, you know it makes sense.
Right, I hope you can see, because I need to get in more than I need to show you. But we're going straight in with the 3mm, nice and steady. We centre punched, and now we're drilling in. Nice and steady. We should break through that stud eventually, and then we can go in with a tapping size for 5/16 UNC, which is what these studs are, which is about 5mm off the top of my head, maybe slightly over. So we'll get at... Fucking hell, that's some going, isn't it? How far in is that? Plenty. Hey, fucking hell, it's a long way in, that is, boys. Where's the stud? How deep's the stud? About that fucking deep, so I don't want to drill into the head, that wouldn't be good. Oh, there we go. Right. So we're through, and then we can chase it up with a 5mm. Like fucking so. These are new drill bits, but I think they're a bit shit. Oh, not that shit. Right, let me get in a better place. And keep nice and square. So, that's shit, that fucking drill bit, I think. There we go. So we'll get that drilled out. That is shit, that drill bit. Let me change my drill bit for a better drill. And get that drilled out. That's what you get for buying cheap kit, Ralfy. Don't normally use this, but I thought I'd give it a shot. My bad, I fucking got the tapping size for a quarter, didn't I? It's 5/16, so I don't know. It's one of them mornings, so let's fucking have this out to 6.5mm. Nice and steady. There we go. Gonna be a grabber. Like that. Come on, you bastard. Maybe a fucking left-handed bit would have done, but we're a bit past that now. You never know. I don't think I've got a quarter one anyway. And there we nearly go. Just shine my torch up and have a quick look. Yeah, that should do it. So now we can run it the quarter. Oh, fuck off! I'm getting my words mixed up. Now we can run it 5/16 tap in using my Blue Point tap holder. It was a viewer's gift, bless you. So in we go, nice and steady away. Like fucking so. So we'll go couple in, click it off, back it off. Right, I stand corrected. I did have an inkling, with a thinking. That I had a stud, and by golly, I'm fucking right. So I'm sick of fucking struggling with this shit. I will, off camera, get this out. And we'll make and get this stud put in. Oh fuck it, I've been struggling with this for nearly a fucking hour. Right, real time fucking struggles in a genuine fucking situation. Here, we'll give that a fucking blast out with a carb cleaner. And we'll blow all this shit off my fucking bench. Because we don't want to be leaning on that and have a bit of swarf stick in your fucking elbow. I've got a bit in my hand because I'm fucking speaking. Right, so with that tapped out, we have got a stainless stud. Brass is good. We don't have brass. And we shall do our very best to get this worked in there, like so, using 2 nuts. We need both our nuts to lock it off. Come on, baby. See the bubbles coming out, it's fucking getting there, and we send that all the way to just coming up to tight now. A little bit more, please. Yep. And then we crack off the outer nut, hopefully. and they should just spin off. Oh, if it'll fucking behave, which going by today's fucking endeavours it won't, so I'll get another spanner on it and cut that knot off. Right, so yeah, they're both loose, look. We'll have that one off. He needs a flange nut really, so we'll have that one off as well because he needs a flange nut. So that is eventually, fucking Jesus, Father Ted, one stud replaced. There's one round the other side we're going to have a look at next. Hopefully that'll go a bit better. Right, we've got this one here now. I don't know how you can see it. That's 3/8 by UNC, so we're going to put a 10mm. In fact, that feels like fucking, yeah, I reckon it's 3/8. We've got 3/8 there, we're going to leave it a bit shy. Like so, and then we're going to weld that, and then, because it's not in the engine, we can actually warm this casing up, this casting, sorry, up, and hopefully that'll release. So, we need to go and move my fucking earth, bear with. Fucking hell. So we need to put the earth back on the fucking chassis, Mind your eyes. And weld that on there. Like that. A bit more. Like fucking so. And then what I'm going to do is use the old fucking map gas. One fuck out of that fucking casting, so that hopefully it will release the bolt. So I won't make you sit there and watch me doing this for the next few minutes. You can join me once it's cooled off a bit. Right, so we're going to revise the method slightly. We have got that good and fucking warm. I'm going to change the gas bottle soon because we're running out. What I'm actually going to do is shock it with some water. So I'm going to shock it with some water, and hopefully that shrinkage that I'm now forcing upon it will help to free it off. So there we go. We'll get that nice and cool-ish. No more sprayy. It's still a bit hot actually. But I'm hoping that that has, here we go, that is absolutely textbook. So we welded enough time, we've warmed it up and we've worked it out. So we've got 1 for 2 there. We have 50% of the bastards, it's a bit warm. 50% of the action works out just how we like it. Job done. Right, I've just reviewed the footage, and if it don't make sense, I'm sorry. If it drags on a bit, I'm sorry. But that was a right faff. The other one, that was absolutely fucking delightful. Just what you want. Anyway, we can get back on track now. We're 3 rails away from having this frame modification all plumbed up. I'll get some 1¼ cut, roughly to length, a bit over length, and we'll see how it's going to sit. So as I say, back to the main event, and we've got the left-hand rail tacked in, the right-hand rail mocked up. I say tacked in, there's just one little tack holding that on, and that will leave this brace one after I've boxed that in. And it will leave the bracket off the original frame. That bracket there I'm pointing at needs cutting off and cleaning and welding somewhere in that gap. And then we're fucking there, really. We can get it on its wheels. What I'll do, I will warm it up and weld it up almost completely. Oh, I'll give it some right good tacks, and because I want to get it on its wheels, because as I've said a few times with this, I'm not sure about how the springers are going to behave, so we will see. Right, quick update. So they're all in. Those front rails are in and stitched in quite nicely. We've increased the welds, we've made the tacks bigger, we've welded that plate in the bottom because we are now going to run a tube in that'll probably come here or there, or I don't quite know yet. Probably here actually. So we will see. We will see where that comes, but I didn't want it to get in my way of plating that the end of that thing over, like. So yeah, so we're all good. I'm gonna have a break. I'm gonna have a brew, and then we'll cut a bit of inch tube that's gonna sit in here and come back here, and then that is the tube work done. It does just leave that little bracket which I'll cut out of there and weld in there in due course. Like, I know it's not very exciting to watch. You've not seen me cut 3 bits of tube and scallop the ends and cope the ends, as the Americans say, and tuck them in place, but you can see what I'm on with. Right, so last bit of tube. Look, I'm gonna half-arsed was the word I was looking for. Kind of explain. Look, we just follow the line of where it's going to join. The same under there, but it won't fucking focus. And that gives us a bit of a guide. So we'll come over to the vise and use a cutting disc just to rough it out. That is a really long fucking cut, which I will probably modify in due course. But I'll get the end chopped off, right? And then we'll have another look at this long slice. I always dislike doing these. They're a pain in the ass to fucking cut for a start off. But, you know, we'll get there. Okay, last piece of the puzzle time is this regulator rectifier, and it might be something else, can't fucking remember, bracket. And what I've done is use the angle box to make sure it's level, and I've also held this is a spacer in there, like, to space it off the frame so that it sits nice and flush. So we just hold it like that, get the angle box right, get a couple of tacks on, and then we can run a bit of weld to hold it in place. So really, the steering stops, there's tank mount, there's the new front wheel in the Springer forks, and the brake, front brake, a few other bits and bobs, but to all intents and purposes, bar fully welding up, that is the frame chopped, new headstock, top tube, front rails. Happy days. Right, and there it is on its wheels. Sitting fucking pretty. I would think, you've got to be pleased with that. That sits lovely, as I've said many a time. Now, what I reckon, I'm not an aficionado on springers, but there's lots of thread on the top here and not a lot on the bottom here. I think these rods are fitted upside down. I think these fix nuts should be where they are, but I think the rod should be the other way so you can bollock them up and squeeze the springs to give you more preload. I've not boinged up and down on it, but it does sit just nice like that, and you don't want it too soft on the front, obviously. So there you fucking go. That is our Gordy's frame, headstock, top tube, front rails, out to take 10-inch over springers. There's loads of other bits and bobs to get on with. So as soon as I can, I'll get on with it. So there you go, that's that done. There's still plenty to go at. I've got to get it on its wheels, do the stops, mount the headlight, mount the handlebars, mount the petrol tank, and I'm sure there'll be other bits and bobs. Oh, sort the front brake out, sort the front wheel out, loads. So please, please, please follow along. It just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, consider giving me a sub and becoming a member of the channel. It really does help me out. Check out all the bumps in the description below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and big love everyone. See you soon.